So if you are new inside the Hypixel Skyblock community, or just never play unless your slaves are finished working, then you probably don't have a clue about what's going on outside the game itself. Well, let's just say the recent update log has made straight up chaos and making everyone basically quit the game. Crashing servers and basically riots all around the hub. And yeah, it's ridiculous. So yeah, we'll be going into the little update as to why people are making chaos around Skyblock and why this update can potentially ruin Skyblock. But before we do, make sure you are subscribed so you won't be missed out on any future updates about Skyblock, and join the Discord server for more leaks and features. And that's all. Here we go. So first off, on the thread we have gear changes. The first thing being that Boomerangs will be nerfed by 50 base damage, meaning that Boomerang users are pretty much weaker than Berserkers now. On top of that, however, there is actually a new insane buff on the last bread. The last bread is buffed by its base damage by 20 and adding 50 critical damage points. And the defense removal ability is now capped at 50% defense removal, other than only removing 100 defense. So you'll have 50% less defense to attack the mob with. That's pretty insane for Necron, not gonna lie. So yeah, y'all better get your hands on this before it explodes into 30 mil or above. There's also the mosquito bow buff of strength and crit damage, but that doesn't really make a major difference, so we're gonna move on. Next up we have the new Necron blade nerfs and buffs. So the Valkyrie got a 20 strength buff on the sword, basically meaning Diamante prices went brrrr. Second off, Astrea and Syla also got a buff in base stats, but who the hell uses those? And lastly, the thing that makes a lot of people want to leave Skyblock, Hyperion's intelligence. Hyperion only giving 1 damage, and the worst of them all, Hyperion's wither impact damage radius gone. In other words, that the Hyperion's intelligence will be nerfed by 50 base mana, Hyperion only giving 1 damage per Catacombs level and not 2 anymore. And the worst of them all, like I said, Hyperion's wither impact ability, or so-called implosion, will be reduced by its radius of 10 blocks, making it only 6 blocks. So yeah, it's pretty much going to be a baby Hyperion now instead of Hyperion. And also meaning that clearing dungeons will be a lot more difficult now. Like seriously, people are straight up giving up on dungeons and selling Hyperions for the same price as the Necrons handled 3 hours before the post. It's ridiculous. And then we go up to some more simple stuff, which is that the Midas staff got nerfed, the goggles of a mage will be less more powerful, a few items will be upgraded in rarity, and the tarantula helmet will be capped at 1000 strength. As for the pet buffs and nerfs, the skeleton pet got buffed on cooldown, the tiger pet ferocity buff and the swipe ability nerf, and the lion pet buffed with a new ability which will probably break in the future. Moving on, we have the new boss changes. So this thread has an insane amount of big brain chatting, and I'm not Albert Einstein, so I'll just say it simply how I see it. Endernon equals Necron user. In other words, the damage you deal above 0.4% of the boss's base health will be reduced by 90%. So if there's a Endernon with a Runet's bow and a full tuxedo armor set user with a maxed out godlike mosquito bow, you'll both do the same damage. I swear, so many Skyblock sweats are pissed about this. Next up are the Catacombs changes added. So new requirements to join a floor aren't based on combat anymore, but on Catacombs. So floor 1 will be Cata 1 and floor 7 will be Cata 26, meaning that carrying people in floor 7 is probably not gonna be a thing anymore. RIP my carry streams. And besides that, there is a new change to items inside dungeonizing, which reduces the levels of Catacombs. I feel so bad for the admins that have to write all of this, like holy shit. On to the next thing, which is a lifesteal / siphon nerf, which means you will probably get wrecked by bosses. And lastly, but not least, the general changes of mana removal, wither cloak removal, and yeah, just some other stuff. So mana removed if it's not your base number. So if you have 200 mana as your base, but you have 5,000 normally because you held a Hyperion with Storm set, yeah, all that mana is gone. So RIP Goblin users. Wither Cloaks are disabled when swapping armor sets is also something, so RIP Goblin users. And the Wither Cloak's ability no longer dealing damage, so it doesn't really have anything to do with Goblin users, but still RIP Goblin users. Then the Withermancer's skull basically being a stalker 24/7 around the entire dungeon, getting despawned after 10 seconds. Which is pretty fire if you ask me, because those things were stalking me 24/7 straight up when I was doing frag runs. And yet again, something that causes Skyblock chaos, which is the new rabbit hat nerf on floor 7, meaning that you gotta beat Necron without being a bunny. Lesser Orbs healing now works in dungeons. I thought it already did, but I literally have never seen this used anyway. Then removing AFK methods from public islands and fixing powder gain from Mithril Golems, Sky Mall, and mining pumpkins? The Spirit Mask ability is now inside dungeons, so basically a second Bonzo mask. The Fell Sword is getting fixed. I pretty sure thought it was already fixed, but apparently it wasn't the case. But yet again, it was a item that nobody uses. Then there is also the Spirit Beds working without it being selected, so it's not literal garbage anymore. And lastly, class milestones will be removed from the Catacombs entrance. What? Not sure how much cocaine and wine they drink over at the Hypixel headquarters, but seriously? Class milestones affect EXP and boss loot chest. But what does entrance have with that? It literally only gives 100 EXP when you beat it. Is it really needed to remove that to keep that 100 EXP dead? And on top of that, there are no boss chests inside entrance. What the fuck? And yeah, there we are at the end of the video. Which part of this update did you find the worst? Let me know in the comments. Or if you find anything good about it, also let me know. But yeah, that's all. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, press that like button, subscribe if you're new, and if you truly are a Chimkin supporter, make sure to join our Discord server. Link is in the description below. And yeah, see ya!